Haikyuu is a story that heavily strikes the emotional core of its audience. As much as Haikyuu is about the Karasuno underdogs facing down the nation's most powerful opponents on the volleyball court, it's also, if not more so, about the internal strife that each character struggles with. And featuring a massive cast of almost entirely lovable yet diverse characters leads a genuine sense of familiarity to the series. Many shonen anime shy away from the fact that their main cast tend to be teenagers, but Haikyuu leans on and embraces this fact. It's a series that understands its characters' varying degrees of social and emotional maturity and grounds itself in this. To that end, Haikyuu's high school volleyball team and their ragtag group of friends they make throughout their journey all feel like real people going through their own personal struggles, using volleyball as a way to explore themselves, their desires, and shortcomings. The volleyball court becomes their shonen battlefield where fulfillment means something different to everyone individually, but also is a shared goal for the entire team. Volleyball becomes a lens these characters view themselves through and the mechanism by which they overcome their weaknesses. A great asset of Haikyuu is its immense feeling of charm and individuality. As a series, it pays careful attention to basically all of its characters. That's not to say some aren't more important than others, but even minor characters are given a genuine personality in their brief time on screen. As such, we're given an abundance of characters to love and relate to. Along those same lines, the obstacles faced by each of them are all different, giving nearly any single person watching the series a character they can identify with. For some, their battles are physical, to learn more skills, to jump higher, to see above the wall. But others, the more compelling ones in my opinion, are based on internal strife. Kageyama desperately trying to balance and assimilate his kingly tendencies, and Tsukishima abandoning his reservations are profoundly rewarding character arcs. And the most simple yet inexplicably elegant one belongs to Tanaka. I've always loved Tanaka, always persevering and working hard as well as supporting his teammates and staying positive. Tanaka is an instrumental factor in Karasuno's orchestra, an unbreakable bone in their spine. He's also a consistent scorer and relatively dependable wing spiker, but despite all of this, he feels somewhat directionless in the beginning. That's not to say he had no ambitions or goals, but he did feel like he lacked the same fervent desire to remain on the court like Hinata and Kageyama, nor did he possess the tunnel-like focus on nationals like the third years. I mean none of this as a negative or an insult, because it's clear as day Tanaka plays for love of the game. Similarly, though he's a fairly reliable all-around player, he doesn't have a specific strength, and by his own admission, he's not the best at anything on the team. Kageyama and Nishinoya are among the most skilled high school players of their respective positions. Asahi is a powerful and reliable ace. Tsukishima is both perceptive and tall enough to utilize that intelligence. Hinata has amazing athletic abilities and instincts. In terms of all-around players, it's clear that Daichi fills the role as the player neatly supporting the team's weak points. Tanaka's role in this regard is a reflection of his simple and straightforward attitude. That unembellished and genuine disposition allows him to mostly stay positive, except in those brief instances when he can. When he's pushed to the breaking point and forced to confront the fact that he might be only average, something he's painfully aware of but works tirelessly to overcome and look past. However, where many people may find themselves disheartened, Tanaka finds resolve. He knows that he's average and that he doesn't excel anywhere in particular, so he has to gather what he can and draw out 110%. And though he may not shine in any one aspect, he's not bad at anything either. As such, he's not afraid to try new things, nor is he cursed with a fear of failure. While some may be working to overcome a single obstacle, Tanaka simply overcomes. He walks in the direction he chooses and will scale any obstacle. This is a mindset founded on self-understanding and also self-confidence. Tanaka is aware that he's normal, so he has no time to waste idling around feeling sorry for himself, and also believes heavily in the notion that he can accomplish anything he sets his mind to. When surrounded by supreme talent, Tanaka turns his simplicity into fortitude, with the mindset claiming if you can't do it right now, keep trying until you can. It is often said that hard work is a skill in its own right, but in the hands of someone average like Tanaka, it elevates him to a genius. And though some might say this attitude is one of an immature one-track mind, I argue otherwise. Because he's average, he's driven to work harder. Similarly, he isn't scared to attempt new playstyles. To further specify, he's not limited to anything specifically. What I mean is that his lack of a specific area of talent broadens his field of play. Essentially, the entire court is his comfort zone that can only expand in size. And to top it all off, Tanaka isn't restricted by fear of losing. Because to him, losing is not nearly as bad as being scared of the game itself. In a game where 1 step, 1 inch, or 1 second could decide the fate of someone's dreams, the worst mistake average Tanaka can make is not giving it his all and playing with regrets. As long as he keeps trying until he can do it without shame. A theme that has been frequently explored in anime, and specifically in sports anime, is the importance of hard work. Along those same lines, it's the struggle of the average person against those truly gifted players. In many instances, hard work simply does not beat talent. The sad truth is that sometimes hard work does not even equal talent if said talent works equally hard. The weight of this realization of one's normalcy can crush people. However, Tanaka is someone who's not shackled by the chains of average. Tanaka's the embodiment of most people watching Haikyuu. Not supremely talented, but elevates himself to higher levels through effort and resolution. Haikyuu is a series that believes in its characters, and Tanaka's approach to life is a reflection of its belief that anyone can do anything as long as they don't give up. With resolve, willpower, help, and a little luck sometimes, anything is possible. Sometimes you have to work harder than others to reach the same heights. Against those truly gifted individuals, you might not even approach their peak. To face those unfavorable odds without flinching requires immense mental fortitude. Tanaka is a man who shoulders the pressure of what feels like an unstoppable force and becomes an immovable object. He's a man whose tenacity and resilience consistently become pillars of support for the team. Someone whose determination sets an example for his peers to follow. Not to mention the fact that Tanaka is always lifting up his teammates. He's heavily relied on by his teammates and also admired heavily by the other 3 second years, who deeply express their unshakable faith in Tanaka's mental strength. Enoshita, Kinoshita, and Narita are aware that being someone like Tanaka is exceptionally difficult, someone who faces his fears and insecurities without faltering. Tanaka's indomitable spirit and endless perseverance are held in extremely high regard by his second-year counterparts, who believe him to be a person capable of overcoming any obstacle. The ability to look potential failure in the eyes and grit your teeth as you power through is Tanaka's gift, what makes him a genius in his own way. To possess the indestructible confidence that anything is possible through hard work is a rare and valuable talent in itself. The belief that even someone ordinary can become strong is Tanaka's gift, the blessing of average